Dude, imagine if you say that it looks good and it comes out and it's bad.
Oh, I would be so.
Oh my!
I don't think I could ever stream
How
again.
Could you? I mean, you couldn't publicly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you did, you'd have to not have a face cam or something.
I would have to.
Because of the shame, the physical, visible shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Careful, dude.
Career ender. Career ender.
Careful, man.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the podcast, the show dedicated to talking about all the progress things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I'm one of your co-hosts, JesseKazam.
And I'm distracted. I instantly, I saw, like, my Twitter tab was, like, blinking, and I clicked on it, and then someone mentioned both of us, and then they linked, like, a link to the Marathon, the game, which is, like...
Oh, yeah. I put it on our list to talk about later.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well... I know nothing about it, so that'll be interesting. But I clicked on the thing, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see you like look into the camera and start. Oh, fuck!
Oh, jeez. We're here.
So, dude, what's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. Played a lot of Tarkov today. We got the.
I saw.
Yep, which was we'll get to that briefly. What a perfect, wonderful day. There's no bugs, and I had fun, and I never died, not once. I'll tell you 3 lies and no truths, and you have to guess which one. No.
Oh my God! Speaking of that, total random note, but my wife at her work, they do like team building stuff. They do 2 truths and a lie, and her like quick and easy way of doing it is she just picks something I've done as her lie, like,
yeah.
You know,
that's nice because then there's like a kernel of truth to it. It's easier to sneak the lie in. That's genius, actually.
You've got like backstory, you've got context or whatever. And we were food shopping yesterday, and randomly, I was just being fucking weird, and like, you know how near the cash register around this time of the year, you know, there's like summertime 4th of July shit, so there'll be like patio chairs and like pool noodles, and there was hula hoops.
Ooh. And
I was just being fucking annoying, like just sitting. I was joking around because we've been eating you know, when you go to Five Guys, how they have the peanuts in like actually in the
shell.
The shell. She bought a giant bag of those because we've been eating them while we've been playing Dice Throne, and
that's awesome.
And I just was making the whole, like, you know, big sack of nuts jokes over and over, just being, and for some reason I made a joke about the hula hoops, and she's like, you know, I was the hula hoop champion on my like elementary school. I'm like, hey, you tell me everything. And she's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna have to use that for my 2 truths.
Yeah, that's a great one, dude. A hula hooping. I was never very good at hula hooping.
Oh, well,
it's all in the hips.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah,
who's dating my wife. So I just showed a little preview.
Oh,
like the first like 5 minutes of my No Man's Sky video.
I forgot how good the music was. I remember like watching all the behind the scenes stuff I could about the music and the guys who made it, and like just like the crazy stuff that they did. I remember they did some behind the scenes, and it was so good. You ever seen an EBO?
Yeah.
For a guitar? Like I had an EBO, and I used it so much because I thought it was so sick. But like I remember seeing this video where they had like a bunch of guitars, like on tables, like mounted up so everything was like up, and they were on tables, and they had EBOs like placed all over, and they would walk around and like move them, and like that was like part of how they recorded some of the tracks to get that really consistent droney,
like futuristic lap steel.
Yeah, with obviously running through all the effects, but it was just like a consistent, like if you would run a bow or something that just never goes away, it never ends. It's just these draining, and they would just like move them around, and oh my God. So like the music is so good, and then the intro is so good because it's like it basically sets it up exactly as like it's a great game. Lots of people have talked about it, but here's the side of No Man's Sky nobody's talking about.
Yeah, and I wanted to do that like it's actually, dark and existential. And then I showed like a bunch of stuff rapid fire that was like, whoa, what the fuck was that? Whoa, what the fuck was that? Like a giant thing, like with an eyeball in
or
space.
like I remember seeing that, but I've never really thought about it. Like the terminal that has like the claws and the stuff around it. Like I remember seeing those all the time when I was doing my stuff, but I never really thought about it. So like when it's presented, then it's like recognizable, but then you're also like, why have I never questioned what that flesh-eating thing is that's around it?
It's like this weird cult, like, oh, the world of glass. Oh, we'll talk to the void, and you're like, what the? Oh, okay. You just end up clicking through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just being like, oh, okay, this is some weird shit that I'm not meant to understand, but there's actually like story. And then, so I kind of introduced some of those the cosmic horror stuff, and then I cut right to like the ARG.
Yeah, which I'd never seen that before,
bro.
I was like, what the hell?
You don't even know, dude. So for those that don't know, an ARG is what, an alternate reality game?
Yeah, I think so.
Basically, like, it's a way for imagine like a you know what, Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
is an ARG in many ways, in that like you have to go to a place, know. I mean, nobody does that shit anymore, but I remember when it first came out, everybody was like going down to the fucking park and stuff.
We were driving across town.
Yeah, dude, that all we did on our lunch break was like walk around.
Yep.
But so it's a way of incorporating a ton of like real world stuff into the lore. So they actually hired actors, and they had radio stations that were broadcasting shit. So like one of the they came out with like a website that then hinted at, had like a map with like locations all around the world, that then people would like find out what was going on, and then eventually there'd be like a time and a radio station people would listen to, and it would be a message that they'd have to listen to, record, and then you pull up like the spectrograph, and it says like a website in the spectrograph.
Oh my god.
And dude, it gets to the point where it's like in the background of a thing that you reverse is like binary representation of like an ASCII translated fucking like
that's
shifted by 18 characters of Morse code that takes you to an unlisted David Bowie video.
What?
Dude, like literally. And
what?
It's and they had, and at one point this whole ARG that's going on, so this is all behind the scenes, that like Hello Games, they hired a company that does like ARGs, so like they were kind of the masterminds of it. But for a while nobody knew that it was No Man's Sky, basically until one of the things was like a No Man's Sky address, like a location on a planet that somebody went to, and there was like a thing, like a terminal there with like a message, and they, oh god, so what the fuck was the craziest thing, right? So there was somebody who made an account. It was a YouTube channel with this woman, a young woman that was a part of what the fuck is it? It's called ATARC.
Okay.
Sorry, ETARC, which is the, what does it stand for? Wait, I gotta find it. No. ETARC? Fuck. I forget what it stands for. It's some like obscure cities ham radio like enthusiast group that she's like, yeah, I'm a member of this thing, blah blah blah, and just basically being like, I'm a part of this, trying to discover this ARG and figure it out. And it goes so deep that it turns out she's an actress basically playing like an AI. But the whole time she's like, guys, we have all these clues. And she was kind of a way to like sort of help guide people a little bit, and she'd be asking questions and doing polls of the community that was figuring out this ARG, but it was a way of like them.
That
dude, and it,
bro,
and that like glitchy thing that you saw at the end was like one of the actresses that was actually somebody totally different. But dude, it gets so fucked up. And at one point in the forums, and this was the thing that made me feel so satisfied about my sort of hypothesis, you know, that's a cosmic horror game, because ChatGPT kind of talked me out of it a little bit, but I go back and forth, having doubts about like, is this gonna like hit home? Is this gonna be good, or are people gonna be like, nah, this is a shitty, amateur, literary analysis that is just like dog shit, and it's nothing like that. There was an account on the Atlas65.com forums, which the Atlas, the Atlas in the game.
Yeah, in the game.
Well, there's an Atlas Foundation that the video with the woman.
She's
like,
the CEO of Atlas Foundation.
They do simulation technology research into like simulation theory and whatever. And there was websites posted up. I had to go to the Wayback Machine to see because they don't exist anymore.
God.
But on the forums, somebody who was like super integral in the whole ARG thing that ended up, I think they might even like help manage the website. Their name was Old Gods. And I ended up clicking on their profile, and it's got kind of a creepy avatar. And I'm like, the little bio says, men's courses will foreshadow certain ends to which, if preserved in, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is all this? And I end up doing a reverse image search on the avatar.
Oh.
And the avatar is someone called, and I'm not going to pronounce this right. Wait, oh my God, can I hit the little? No, that just does text to speech for the whole article. The person's name is Nyarlathotep. It's
okay.
I just watched a bunch of videos on it, and I'm not pronouncing it right. But Nyarlathotep is a fictional character created by H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, yep.
The character is a malign deity in the Cthulhu mythos, the shared universe. And what they're known for, one of the craziest, scariest, like a lot of people were arguing that it was the most terrifying Lovecraftian monster, and it's basically like a dude. It's like the most human of all of them. He can take different forms or whatever, but and I'm just like, I've dipped in a millimeter of a toe into into fucking H.P. Lovecraft. But he's the son of Azathoth. There's this whole family tree who is the god at the center of our universe and in whose dreams all of life is said to reside. So he's at the center of our universe, and we all live inside of his dreams.
I see the parallels there.
I'm like, ooh.
Damn.
So now all of a sudden,
I want to watch this video so bad.
And this person was a part. As far as I'm like 98% sure. I can only, dude. Every time I go somewhere, it branches off 6 things, and it's like I can only go a little bit.
Yep.
And I'm kind of like, okay, this is really important, and I flag that off, and then I find 19 other things, and the more I go. As soon as I go down one, it's like branches off.
Dude.
Oh, they had a Twitch stream, dude. They had a Twitch stream.
Really? Hello Games? Or,
where I'm not going to give any other details other than community members, like mods of the forums and of the subreddit and whatever. There was like a select few that were chosen to interact with people who were trapped in the simulation, and Twitch chat was like voting on the things to say, because if you and there was like a meter that was their mental health basically, and how
did I not know about any of this?
Dude, it's fucking buck wild. It's crazy. They had people like taking trains to London to like meet people to like ask for coded messages to give them hints.
That's so sick.
dude, it's the wildest shit. It's the wildest shit.
Oh my God.
And the sad part is that I'm gonna have to like leave out so much of this.
Yeah.
Because it's not directly relevant.
Yeah. But it's just like cool. That's
you watch Lost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out how I want to structure this video. I'm getting a little closer, but then I find out something new and I realize it's not going to work. It's like if I'm not going to fucking spoil Lost for anybody. It's been 150,000 years. Go watch
limitations on Lost.
But like trying to explain this is like I want to talk to you about like Jacob and the significance of, but it's like, but then there's like the Dharma Initiative, and then there's like gravity pockets and time travel, and it's like, but all everybody knows is that a plane crashed on an island.
Yep.
It's like, how do I get?
How do you even get to Jacob without like And
that's how fucking deep this goes, dude. Like,
I want it all.
Like, oh my God. But how do you do it?
Yeah,
the only way you can do it is be like, well, they crashed on an island and then they saw a polar bear and then this happened and now I feel like I'm telling the entire story.
Yeah.
So
damn.
Maybe that'll be a separate video. I don't know, but it's fucking wild, dude. I'm having my own existential crisis. Writing about having an existential crisis.
About the cosmic horror nature of this game. That's so sick. That's so sick.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing for most of my days these days, other than fucking around with bankofamerica.com. But
bro,
that's a separate
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
story.
We have to talk about that. That's brutal. God, I saw you were so I was playing, so I got the new PC, which I'm super, the little pizza box, and I was testing it out. So I was playing Star Citizen last night offline with Seal and Subtlety and some homies, and we were all lurking in your stream laughing at you, laughing at just the like hilarity that was ensuing.
Dude, I mean, like,
I caught the very end, so I don't know. I didn't even know you were playing. I didn't know what you were trying to do. I don't know if you were trying to goof around or trying to do something and it didn't work out, so you stopped.
I revived the original dad, basically.
Yeah.
I was hitting like the randomized thing, and like the fourth face was the fucking berries and cream haircut.
Yeah.
Like the bob with like, and I'm like, it's my dad again. Like, fucking the dude's face looks like my dad. Which was like the original joke.
The original dad.
So that's why we call him Todd, T-O-D, the original dad. If you come into my chat and you do !TOD, it'll link you to the video. But I mean, like, Star Citizen to me is low frame rate FOIP simulator.
Yeah.
In no way do I want it to fail.
Yeah.
In no way do I. Dude, I just found out that they've raised $580 million.
Yeah, or more. Yeah. Listen,
it hurts my soul.
Listen,
No Man's Sky was made with like 11 people, dude.
Yeah, I got nothing. Right? This is one of those things where like I'm no shill. You know what I mean? Like Cloud Imperium Games, they've raised almost. I think it's far beyond. I think they're close to $750 million. Maybe I'm crazy. You want to know what's crazier? You want to know something crazier? The game's been like in a playable alpha for like what? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. 11 years. It's been in development for like 11 years. I don't know what the playable alpha has been out for at least 6. I got Star Citizen. It's been maybe 8, 9, 10. I got
4th grade.
I got Star Citizen 2 months after I got Tarkov. Like I got it in 2018. Like it wasn't long after I got Tarkov I bought this. It's been
dude, Tarkov's progress makes that game look like.
Yeah. Okay. And so what I was saying is, you want to know something crazy? Is that like last year they made more money than any other year. And the year before that was their best year. And this year's on track to be their best year. Like that the 11-year-old game is raising more money every year, not less. Like the memes are, of course, like, oh, scam Citizen, that thing is still in development. But like, But they're like making more money every year than the prior year. You know what I mean? Like they made like 150 million last year.
I don't subscribe to this idea, but with that context, I now understand where Scam Citizen because I played the game yesterday.
Yeah.
For the first time in it might be 2 years.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, it's the exact same game. Like I did the exact same.
For sure.
I
like you couldn't I couldn't explain the differences without basically actuallying. Like, you know what I mean? Like you had like functionally it is. Yeah.
There's so much shit, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like, I mean, I wasn't really like exploring. I wasn't
I get it.
But it's like first of all, I was getting like 11 frames in the city, which so it's like, so I walk into this thing and there's like 95 guns on the wall, and it like takes me 10 minutes to like click on one and pull it up, and I can like fondle it in my hands or whatever. And I'm like, I mean, I don't even know what I'm going to shoot with it. So I'm not going to buy anything just yet, you know? So
for sure.
The game loop for me is wake up in the bed.
Yeah.
Fuck around with Foyt.
Yeah.
On my way to, there's an elevator.
Yeah.
And the best part is that you have to hit the elevator button.
Yeah.
Then you have to walk in. You have to hit the floor button.
Yeah.
Then half the time you have to hit open on the fucking doors as if elevators.
Or sometimes the elevator's open and you're just staring into space and the game doesn't render and you just walk out the elevator and fall into space and die and have to start the thing all over. I get it.
And then you walk to the train station. You take the train. You got to wait for it. You take it to the thing. You walk like 900 miles to a computer terminal. You press a button and it's like, we're going to spawn your ship. Give us 30 seconds. And you wait 30 fucking seconds. Yeah. And then it's like, it's in number 2. So you go to the elevator, hit another elevator, walk over to your ship. Bro, I did this like 3 times. Yeah. And finally, I took a different train to a different stop because they were having some expo at the exact same time when I played last time. It was like a million ships. They're all like massive. And I'm like, oh, I picked the coolest looking one. Well, the first time I was like, the little tooltip was like, you can hit space to lift off, and hit space and explode on the fucking roof because I didn't know you had to hit Alt plus N to request from fucking mission control. So I just explode. So, I'm back in my fucking bed again, and I need to do it all over. Okay? Fine. I do that twice, dude. Twice. I finally end up in the big ass ship, and I'm like, sick. Okay, cool. And I'm like, because of how weird it's got, like the tether control thing where it's like everything's on a rubber band when you're like use the default mouse control, and I just probably did like a HOTAS and whatever. It doesn't matter. But I kind of like caught a little wing on the little bay, and my ship for 15 minutes was just caught like this. And this was the biggest fucking like capital ship you can get, like the goddamn fucking Aurora Borealis, you know, and it was just sideways, stuck up and down, just and as it's sitting there going back and forth between the roof and the floor and the roof and the floor, and it's like I'm like max speed, quantum boost, left, right, up, down, left, right, max speed, back up, you know, whatever.
Bro. The
thing's a complete and utter fucking mess.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped, like all the engines fall off, so then it has no power, and it's like, so now I have to walk all the way back to the thing. Yeah. And then the game crashed. Yeah. And then right after that, that was after I met some people who were like cool, and they were gonna like show me how to get there. It was gonna be fun to have like interaction. Yeah. Those 2 guys like saw Deadly in the elevator, and my game crashed before all of this. So I missed the one opportunity to have real fucking fun. Yeah. You know, to like, oh my God, it's Deadly, you know, like I would have said hello. It would have been a cool interaction. Yeah. The game crashes. Yeah. I just can't with that in a game.
I know. So here's the thing. Like, first of all, the free fly events are such a double-edged sword because they are truly the worst time to play the game. But it's when you can play for free. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like it's Tarkov wipe day, right? Like they have like there are numbers. Like there's hundreds of thousands of new accounts get made. Like everybody, the servers are so bogged.
How often does it happen?
Twice a year. Well, they do free flies maybe 3 or 4 times a year. They do big events. What's happening now is the Invictus event, and then the IAE, the International Aerospace Expo, happens in the fall. And they always do free flies around these events. And so not only are the free flies bad because they're the server load, but also those expo halls are oftentimes hubs for players. And so like if the servers are only 100 players and there's 4 planets and 18 moons, but if 75% of the server is in 40 feet of each other because they're all right there looking at the expo, your performance is going to tank. Truly, I am well aware. I would never try to force Star Citizen on anybody. Like I said, I'm not. They've done some shady stuff. Whatever, scam citizen, you call it whatever you want. I have such an unbelievable amount of fun playing that game. I'm like, why is this so satisfying? Like, why is this so fun? That I'm just bought in. I love it. I love it. But truly, if you wanna have a good time, this is the way. And if you've ever wanted to play Star Citizen, the one single way to have a good time as a new player is to play with other people who know what they're doing and just follow along. That's it. You hop in our ship, you don't call a ship or anything, and we just take you. Because it's the show don't tell. It's like, I want to take you doing in-atmosphere bounty missions where we are bounty hunters doing missions that are supposed to be done in a ship. They're supposed to be ship combat, but we just drop ship off and all have railguns and are shooting spaceships out of the sky on planet. Hop in the ship, fly to another one. There's this new PvP mission that's insane. There's PvP, there's PvE, there's like these money printers, there's like illegal money printers, you're fighting for control over it. It's sick. We went mining, there's like salvaging, there's flight combat, there's first person combat, there's all sorts of stuff, and it's so like unreasonably fun, but it is impossible to get to that content as a new player when you have 11 frames per second and every 30 minutes your game is going to crash. So it's I
went through the tutorial, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it'll take 30 minutes. It took me like fucking 2 hours. You know? Just because of I was fucking around with FOIP for like an hour and 40 of that.
Yeah.
So
well, of course.
But like, I'm sitting there looking at the fucking little galactic map, all of these things. And I'm like, how would anybody know?
No, there isn't. It's that, and that's the thing, is that like that's the thing that gets under people's skins where they do the big marketing events. Is it's like there's one thing if it's
do that without
exactly. There's one thing where it's like there are games that are like that where it's like you kind of know what you're getting yourself into by backing the project and you want to be a super fan of it, but they don't go, spending ad dollars on YouTube marketing playable now, free fly, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that rubs everyone, including all the Star Citizen content creators, the wrong way, is that like they do these big marketing pushes, but then everything in the game is basically you have to be a super fan to just even engage with the game in any meaningful way. And that is stupid. So like, but one of these days, you just have to hop in with us and we'll just do stuff, and you'll see how oftentimes just like awe-inspiring it is. It's just like so fun, and you see the potential. I mean, it's scuffed. We got Airwing. Airwing downloaded a free flight, and he came with us, and we went mining and salvaging, and we did some stuff, and he just kept like having his mind blown. And then we crashed, and we lost all the money we made, and we're like, all right, we got to go do it again. And he came into my chat the other day. He's like, dude, I'm losing my life to this game, and I hate it. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I need to see. I literally couldn't figure out where the content was.
Yeah.
And
that's not like that is the average experience. That wasn't like, come on, Veritas, you're a gamer, you should know. No, the game does an awful job at explaining what the content is. Like, we got to send you to jail. Like, you would think that was hilarious. Like, you go, if you kill a player, they can press charges against you, and if you get caught, you go to jail, and you're in jail for a certain amount of real life time, and you can go like work off your time by like mining rocks, or you can try to escape, but if you get caught trying to escape, it adds to your time. And so like Prison Break is, dude, me and Seal one day, we spent like an hour trying to escape from prison, and I never laughed so hard in my entire life. It's like a jump puzzle, but with Star Citizen's broken ass physics, and like you get out, and then like the ship comes and we all fly away. It's like so sick. You can hack the comm array. So like there's these actual like little like orbiting comm arrays that basically monitor any illegal activity. So you can buy a hacking tool, go hack the comm array, and for this little slice of space, it's now lawless. And then you can PvP and kill other people, and there's no... But then when you do that, it triggers missions to people that are like, hey, there are people trying to take down the comm array. Do you want to go fight them? So it's like emergent PvP. So other people might show up and be like, hey, you know what I mean? And then you're in like... But it's so hard to get to the content. Like, it's so hard to get to the content.
Dog, the first thing I saw, and I was like, oh my God, I have faith. And it lasted 11 seconds.
Yeah.
I got out of the elevator the first time around, and there was an NPC sitting in a bench, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Because I remember when I played 2 years ago, all the NPCs
we're T-posing on
like inside each other, walking, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, they fit. And I turn the corner and there's fucking 300 NPCs. Dude, have you ever seen The Happening?
Yeah.
They're all staring in one direction. It's like all on the bench. And dude, there's something so creepily uncanny about walking over and seeing a bunch, like 30 people, all completely spread out, standing straight, looking in one direction.
You.
I'm like, not even at me, just like off in the distance.
Yeah.
I expected to start seeing them like walk backwards, grab the knife from the table.
Yep.
Oh my God, dude. And honestly, the best part was after I had blown up one of the ships, I ended up like in the fucking sick bay.
Yeah.
So now my character
had
the blue thing, and I was just crouch walking around, creeping up on people with like
a hospital robe.
And I wanted, the thing is, I looked around for people for so long.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anybody, and then the game crashed, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm just not going to do that. That was going to be my mission, was going to be to fucking fuck with
just creep
people,
on people,
look like a mental patient, and it was like, didn't even get to the game crash. I'm like, okay, I'm fucking done.
Yeah. The sad part is they've got, I think they now own 4 or 5 studios across 3 continents, hundreds and hundreds of employees. And
why are NPCs standing on benches?
Because roughly 5 to 10% of all money spent on development is going towards Star Citizen, and all the rest is going towards Squadron 42, which is it's the single player game that basically ends so basically it's the opposite of Tarkov. Like, basically this is Russia 2028, but they developed them in tandem, but only 5% of the development went to Tarkov. So like, this is the single player adventure that basically ends in you emerging out on your own in the persistent universe. And that's
the tutorial for the fucking Star Citizen.
And they got like Mark Hamill, Henry Cavill, Gary Oldman have all done mocap. There's footage of them all doing mocap. They got all these people.
Like with face capture?
Full motion capture. They're like actors in the thing. Like,
yeah, but you can't have Mark Hamill in a fucking space game, dude, and have it not be Star Wars.
They did. I mean, dude,
excuse me?
Look at the Fury and the Scorpius, those 2 ships. They're just, it's an X-Wing and a TIE fighter, and it's so sick.
And there's Mark Hamill and fucking Yoda, dude.
Yeah, and
Yoda's in it.
And that's the thing, is that like, that's the reason why. It's literally every, like, there are no like Star Citizen shills. Every content creator, every player, everyone, it's like hashtag burn Squadron 42 to the ground. We don't want it. We just want the MMO. Make the MMO. Everybody, and they're shoveling it all to Squadron 42. So that's why you're like $500 million and the game's not. It's everybody thinks that too. Everybody else thinks that too.
Like, the dynamic, interactable, environmental content.
Yeah.
Like 85% of it, as far as I've seen, are the NPCs around the city.
Yeah.
And they're all broken.
Yeah.
And they've in the exact same absurdly embarrassing way that they were 2 years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, fuck.
So it's like
if guns didn't work in Tarkov, you would think that they would fix that over the course of 2 years. I mean, that's a terrible example because it's more like spaceships and Star Citizen,
but there is so much to do if you know how to get over the hurdle of to the
2 frames per second.
Yeah, if you can get over the hurdle to the content, there is like a tremendous amount of things to do. And the best way to play Star Citizen is to spend the least amount of real world money on it, because that's where you have the most content. If you start in a starter ship, then you want to go mine, well, then you have to go do some missions in your starter ship, make enough money, and then you rent a mining ship, and then you go do some mining and you make more money, and then you buy the mining ship. Like, all the ships are purchasable in game. So there's the most things to do and the most gameplay loops to like grind when you don't spend IRL money. Like, just buy the base package, $45, you know what I mean? And then that's when you have the most to do. The people that buy everything, they do everything once or twice and then they get bored. Because you know what I mean? It's like you could just buy level 4 Jaeger with money. It's like you would buy all that, but then you buy Kappa, and then you'd be like, oh, well, the wipe's over already, and then you complain about it. It's like, well, you could have just grinded it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it's but yeah, one day we'll take you, and if and that's the thing, is that if you're like, it's okay, but if you're still like, all right, not for me, those, like, I totally get it. But one day we have to like show you the content, like, but and the thing is,
everything's more fun with friends,
for sure,
you know,
for sure.
So.
And like the thing is, we need to like set it up, because this is very MMO like, where like you would spend, in WoW, you could like take 2 hours like preparing for a raid, like getting everybody and getting, like, it can feel like that sometimes. Like, if we're gonna go do something, it's better if we like pick a night, like you're like, hey, Friday we're gonna do Star Citizen, like, okay, and then me and Seal and Subtlety will like prepare it. We'll be like, okay, we're gonna go do this and we're gonna do this, and then that way you just like rip right in and we just have fun, and it can be fun. Anyways, I kept looking over, and I was looking at Todd in the hospital gown and the bowl cut, just for like 40 minutes, dude. And it was,
the best part is half of the time when you see that, like, I'm like trying to hit the fucking like recalibrate.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you're like laughing and then you hit calibrate, it's like the laugh is the default. So then when you do this, it's like,
yeah,
ultimate crunch frown. Like, oh, it's such a hot mess. And I think probably like my beard and mustache makes it more difficult, because like that gets all fucked up.
Yeah. Deadly's the same way. Exactly. He's glasses and a beard, and it's like it gets all scuffed. The other thing is like fly around in a ship a bunch and then go watch people like Moist Noodle or Captain Burks or something, the guys who can fly. That's the other thing, is like, I want to learn how to fly shit. Like, dude, it's unreal, the movement and the ability. It's like just straight up like living the power fantasy that's Star Wars. Like, thinking about that, just like the way that they can fly around and do combat and like dogfights in space. I watch it and I'm just like, oh my God, it's so sick.
Speaking of, I have like nothing to say about this. I don't know how much experience you have. A million people have talked about like, oh, if you're interested in No Man's Sky and you're like this, you should check out Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, I went on YouTube and I'm like, what can you do in Elite Dangerous? I'm like, cool Elite Dangerous. I can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It looks. I'm sure it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's just looks like the most uninteresting, boring shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure I'm wrong.
No, yeah. I
like, you can watch games
for sure
and be like, that looks fun. That looks, I can understand. Even games I wouldn't want to play, I'm like, I can understand. And I look at that and I'm like, it's the most generic sci-fi.
Yeah. I have never played it, but I kind of did the same thing where I was like, well, let me like look at some of it. And I was like, and it was like, I'm glad people like this. You know what I mean? It was like, there's a huge community, tons of people like this game, but I watch it and it doesn't make me like really want to play.
I remember back when I was in the robotics industry, the guy who sat next to me, Fred, super nice guy. He spent like thousands of dollars on this fucking like flight rig setup, all this customizing shit, and it's all about Elite Dangerous. And that was like 6 years ago or something like that.
Yep.
And then I remember when I was watching the videos now, I'm like, this doesn't look anything like the first half of the video was like, what can you do?
Yeah.
One of the more popular videos, it was like a guy running around like first person shooter. It looked indistinguishable from like Destiny.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, it's just
And
generic
that's new.
sci-fi.
For the longest time,
bullshit.
you were tied to your ship. Like they didn't have any first-person content until like the past few years. It was all like you were your ship for the longest time.
I'm sure people are gonna fucking hate that I said
No, yeah.
that.
I mean, listen,
it's like
it's just you're not saying it's a bad game. It's the same thing. I watched it and I was like, it's not for me.
just like when
You know
when I saw Outer Wilds, I watched like the Steam 60-second whatever, and I'm like, this is a completely fucking whack, uninterested. And it turned out to be my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it could be great, but like, it's not my fault. I can't help that when I see like the trailer for a game, I'm like, this looks fucking lame.
Yeah.
That ain't my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But yeah, those are fun games, and then there's Tarkov, which is also a fun game.
Yeah, well, before you get into that, this is like a pre-segue.
Oh yeah.
A pre-segue.
I needed this today.
Yeah, you need some love from a returning sponsor that you guys are familiar with, BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy service. I mean, at this point, like I said, we've talked about this a million times. It's a service that I've used, still do use to get all of my therapy once a week for God, it's been probably a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Meet with my therapist that I think I've told the story before. I met through BetterHelp, and it was actually kind of showcases the best part about BetterHelp, which is how convenient it is to be able to do everything online without having to go into an office. And, you just find someone. I don't even know how you go about finding a therapist other than like Googling it and then just setting up an appointment.
Yeah.
But then you sit with them in person, and it can be potentially awkward. The first therapist that I actually got kind of linked with on BetterHelp, we didn't really vibe very well. And within literally an hour after that, I had another appointment set up with somebody else.
Yep.
And it turned out to be like
perfect.
Azra is her name, and she's like the perfect therapist for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, all of the issues that all of us deal with at this point in 2023, whether it's issues with relationships, can be work related stuff. It can be I think a lot of people are suffering from like lack of motivation.
Yeah.
Whether it's at their work, whether it's with relationships, whether it's with wanting to get healthy or whatever.
For sure.
Having a counselor or therapist to help you with those types of things, or just like general anxiety and depression.
For sure.
There's no shame in that.
I think a lot of times, like people a lot of times associate like going to therapy or going to counseling for like a specific thing, like there's a specific issue or a thing, which is oftentimes the catalyst, like an issue at work or something happening in your life or whatever. But like what I found was, when my wife and I were going to therapy together, like this was years ago, and it completely changed the course of just like our marriage. Like the way, like the things you learn, the way we communicate with each other is so different now. And like the lasting benefit of that is unreal. So it's like, it can be helpful for a specific thing, but it's also a way to just like get input on just like life in general. And it can set you up to be a better communicator, a better listener, and that can pay dividends forever. So yeah, absolutely. And like you said, the convenience of it is insane. It just feels like the next evolution of this type of stuff. And nothing but good experiences for me as well.
Yeah, it really is. Like any of the hesitations that you might have, I would suggest just checking them out, because it's infinitely less awkward than you might think therapy would be. It's infinitely more convenient than you might think or be familiar with therapy, and it can genuinely change your life to have somebody to talk to. So when you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can help you get there. If you go to betterhelp.com/pogcast, that's POGCAST, today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/podcast. And go ahead and help me, help you, help me, help you, help them, help you, help me.
Us. Yep. So
help Tarkov.
Help yourself.
Oh my God, can we sign up Battle State Games?
Please. But yeah, so thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring, or thank you so much for BetterHelp. Whoa. For sponsoring this episode. And now to why I need BetterHelp this week. So Tarkov. Okay, so did you know that there was a patch today? I'm sure nobody in your chat came and asked you about any of it at all. No. So today was the...
I don't think anybody did.
Oh man, you've done it.
I've trained everybody. Nobody fucking comes to talk to me about Tarkov anymore.
God, he's done it.
Great.
That's amazing.
Fantastic.
So today was the first patch on the roadmap. So at least now the patches that, are happening are ones that are on the roadmap. So we got that 13.0.5 patch. And as with the patches that we went over last week, my genuine reaction after 7.5 hours of playing today is, I don't know. And we'll go through why. There were some definitive W's on here, so that's good at least. But we'll just go through it and we'll talk about, what happened today. The first thing is sound. They did a lot of sound-related things, and the first one is they added the Oculus occlusion. Oh, little snack. Little snack.
Little smart
food. They configured the Oculus occlusion zones to lighthouse and interchange.
I'm sorry, I just realized unintentionally I'm like the guy eating popcorn.
Yeah. Oh God.
Tell me more about how they fix the sound while I eat my fucking popcorn.
Okay, so they added the occlusion zones, the Oculus occlusion zones, to lighthouse and interchange. Which lighthouse, whatever, it's basically all outside. Nobody really noticed. I mean, when you're in the water treatment plant in one of the buildings,
you hear 2 zones.
Yeah, you hear the guy on the roof, and you're like, oh, he sounds like he's inside. Whatever. Interchange though, W. Now, some people might not think it's W, and we'll get to that, but W. Okay, so I went offline with 4 homies. And I was stating how, the hole in the ground that comes up by like generic and Rasmussen, and that hole in the ground is right under the hexagon on the 2nd floor. So I was standing by the hole in the ground, and I had 2 people go down the ramp, and they were running down below me, taunting and shooting guns. And I had 2 people up the escalators running around up top. And so everybody was running and shooting and taunting. And I would close my eyes and pick a gun, like, oh, the mutant. And I'd be like, he's up there. And I would like point, and I could tell he was above. I would, that guy taunted. I was like, oh, he's below me right here. And then I would see his feet run by. Like, it's so good. Now, the audio.
You probably can't hear the generator though.
Yeah.
Which you would be able to hear over fucking footsteps.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I've had binaural on for months now, and I think it's good. So, like, here's the thing, man. This is why it's so scuffed. And obviously, I'm not explaining this to you. You know why it's so scuffed. But, like, the audio, like, there's, like, 4 separate things. There's, like, audio in Tarkov sucks, just, like, in general, right? Like, there are bugs that are completely separate from from binaural or from whether or not a map has these occlusion zones or not, right? Like, so there's like the just general whatever code is left over because they said they had implemented Oculus and whatever. Like there's a lot of bugs with the audio and a lot of super scuffed stuff.
If they deleted the like flashlight click.mp3, if they accidentally deleted it, then no longer would flashlight sounds happen for people. That would be a bug that's independent of all of these
Oculus
other things.
Or binaural or anything. Yeah. So there's that. Then there's binaural. Then this is where the real cluster comes because everybody calls like Oculus a different thing. Like Oculus audio is in the game. Now, they didn't go through and tell Oculus audio where the occlusion zones were on all the maps. They didn't do that all at the same time. They did it staggered, which was weird. It was originally streets and customs and woods, and then they did reserve and shoreline, and now they're doing lighthouse. And so like Oculus encompasses the new binaural that we have and just the new audio engine. But people call Oculus, when people say Oculus, they mean the occlusion zones. Oh, Interchange is getting Oculus. No, Oculus is just, when you hear sounds, it's Oculus. What Oculus is being now fed is the information about where the occlusion zones are. So, and then binaural, people are like, did binaural get fixed today? And I'm like, no, binaural's been good. They that was a bug, you're right. And there was the frame things, and then that all information with like the frame drops, and nobody really, and so it's,
dude, who's on first? What's on
100%.
Second? That's this entire conversation
100%.
where 80% of the community doesn't know that who isn't a person.
And then exactly. And then the fourth thing is the headset audio, which we'll get to. We'll get to that. But all these things, so people come in and they're like, is the sound fixed? And I'm like, what do you mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, because...
Oh, I know. I so badly know what you mean. Yeah. Jesse, why are you being difficult and pedantic?
Yeah. Why are you splitting hairs? It's like, is the sound fixed? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like Interchange is definitely better audio. Like not even just better, like really good. In my testing, my super isolated, right? I'm just like, can I test directional audio? It was really good. Like, we didn't test staircases. I've decided I don't want to be very scientific because I don't want to be a guy who gets clipped and sent around anymore. So I tested some stuff real quick and then I just hopped into some raids.
Dude, when I was scientific, nobody ever fucking clipped and sent my shit around.
Bro, well.
Nobody. I couldn't get my like words out.
So like, yeah, is the sound fixed? Woof. Tarkov's audio still sucks. Oculus has been in the game for 6 months now. Interchange is much better. Binaural has been good for a few months. You should definitely try it if you haven't. And if you go from 100 frames per second to 7 after you turn on binaural, turn it off. I don't care. But I'm just saying it works good. Turn it on. I think it won't be an issue. So but ultimately that was a big W. Interchange sounds good, and the fog is gone. So Interchange is still too dark, but man, it's the best it's been in a while because the fog is gone, which means the visibility is crazy. We'll touch on what they did to flashlights, but now I've been walking flashlights again, and I'm like, oh, now I can see on Interchange, and you can hear on Interchange. So Interchange is in the best spot it's been in for a long time, except for the fact that there were crazy stutters on Interchange, and I didn't.
It's 2017.
Yeah.
Again.
You know what's weird though? This is what's weird. Tell me if this makes sense in your brain. The stutters were positional. Like if I run to this specific place in Interchange, I'm gonna stutter.
Yeah, 100%.
And then if I leave that place, I'll be fine.
If I go, well,
but not a stutter. Stutters in perpetuity until I leave that physical zone.
I mean,
that's what's weird.
It could.
It's always been the like when you get to the middle of the mall, it's like, and then it was fine. But like,
it sounds like that, but
forever. It was super. I thought it was my PC. But then Airwing came in and we were playing together, and every single time I got the stutter, he got the stutter. And there was a place like you're on the first floor by you're on first floor by Texo, and you go up the secret stairs, the special way to look down at Techlight. You go up the stairs, down the hallway, and then in that corner, I was like, my FPS said like 100, 140, but it was like a slideshow. I ran back into the hallway, perfectly fine FPS. I ran back there.
And you're confident that like it wasn't a timing thing?
Yeah, because so I ran into the hallway, perfectly clear, and I was like, that's weird. And I did it like 6 times. Ran back to that thing, immediate stutters. Ran back to the hallway. I was like, chat, what is this? And I was memeing on it, and I just kept running back. And every time I got into this corner, it was stutters. Now, the rest of the day when we got the stutters, we were in online raids, and I wasn't really like, let's go back. So I didn't test it every time, but like there were a few places where it felt like someone saying same place. Yeah, for them. So it could be that in a place where there's tons of occlusion zones, the processor I don't know, jargon, blah, 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 blah. Maybe there's obviously there is an explanation. I don't know what that is. So when interchange is running smooth, it's in the best state it's been in a while. But like, if you just like, I guess, walk in the wrong place, you're going to stutter, and that's weird. So I hope I feel like I do need to go get a clip of that and send it to them and be like, hey, like, here's.
So when you say stutter, is it like really low frames, or is it like how you'd be running and then it would stop?
Yeah.
And then it would all of a sudden catch up?
Complete lockup, stop, catch up, and then it'll like skip. It's almost like both. Like I'll get a huge lockup for 2 seconds, and then it'll catch up and it'll like skip, almost like low frame rate, and then I'll get a huge lockup, and then I'll be fine for 2 seconds. It's weird. It's super weird.
Christ,
yeah.
Dude.
So hopefully that's something that they can patch up, because if they fix that, interchange is in a pretty dope spot for how it's been. I still think it's too dark. I still think it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It's so dark. I'm okay with the map being darker, but like we've talked about many times, it doesn't make sense. I'm standing under a 60-foot long skylight. It should be a little brighter in here. But brother, I just spent 40 minutes trying to fix my PC thinking it was messed up. You'll just save me hours. Yeah, no, it's everybody. But how would you know, right? So interchange, they configure the sounds on Lighthouse as well. Cool. Fix the main sound issue areas on Reserve and Labs. I've heard intermittent reports that that's just not the case at all, and that they still suck. But here's the thing is they didn't mention what those places were. So I have a feeling that the engineers knew of a few spots on Reserve and Labs that had bad audio, and the players are thinking of things like staircases, like that, the places where it sucks for the players. So I bet they fixed 2 or 3 problem areas on Reserve and Labs, just not the ones that the players interact with in a meaningful way. If I had to guess, that would be my thoughts there. Rework this.
One of these lines. Oh my god, I can't wait till we get there.
Yeah. Rework the sound engine for voice lines. The sound is now more realistic. They adjusted the curves for the volume drop, muffling, and transparency at the sound of sounds at distance. Voice lines are balanced in accordance with the loudness of the phrase.
They must be quieter then.
Yep, it is. They did some testing. Like, I didn't do a lot of testing, but I watched some of One Peg's testing where like he was above and he had his buddy just spamming comms, and he would like walk down the staircase. So there's a more gradual increase in the volume now as you get closer, and there's much.
Before it was like you're at 10 volume,
yeah.
You're at 6 volume, and then you're at 0 volume.
Exactly. And it's much more muffled. So if you're directly above someone, if a floor separates you now, it'll be at like 3 volume. It's like really quiet, but you can hear it. And then as you get closer, it's like 6, 8, 10. So that's cool. Here we go. So this is the 4th thing. Improved active headset system. Lowered the volume level for all headsets. Amplified high frequencies for a more realistic sound. Added functionality that gives some headsets an advantage by increasing the hearing radius of footsteps and voices.
Fuck no, I know. No, dude. Every Comtac test I've ever done, it's always been like none of them really give you an advantage. Like it's all been preference, and now it's like PSG says some of them give an advantage. How much? I need inches.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, dude. This is where 7 hours of playing today, I don't know. Let me tell you. Let's walk through this together. So, first of all of the headsets are quieter by about like 4 to 5 decibels. I think that's a good thing. They were so like intensely loud, and just like a lot of times, like so many people pull their game volume down. They seem better. Every single thing that everything you know about headsets, like when you're like, I like Sordens, not anymore. They're all different. It was like they put them all in a hat, shimmied them up, and cut, like they trimmed the freaking the highs and the lows here, and the mids and the bottom, and then they just pulled them out and started assigning them to random headsets again.
Dude, I got a push notification from YouTube earlier that was like, I already know that now what the comment's about, given that it was like, well, they went and changed ... And I guarantee you it's like, well, it was on my contacts video.
Changed the, yeah.
No, they changed them all in the patch today, 1 hour ago. Best headphones? I knew it.
Dude.
I knew it.
Dude.
God damn it.
So they're all different now. Like, so it's weird because that's what I'm like. They're all so different now. Like I'm Contact 2s, like just the stock standard, like oldest headphones in the game, Contact 2s. They are like actual butt cheeks now. They sound so gross and weird, and it's all high end and muffled and weird. And I used to hate the M32s, and they're like, I love them now. So I don't know why, but here's the deal. I went into an offline with some friends, and I brought like 8 headphones with me. Not all of them, but I brought like 8, okay? I had somebody walk away until I couldn't hear their footsteps anymore and walk back. And I changed out all 8 of my headphones, and I couldn't tell a difference in the distance of me hearing them for any of them. And I could hear them at about what a normal distance was. It was like 40 meters. It was like past that, I couldn't hear them walking. Okay. So I went, if there is a distance modifier here, it's not severe, whatever, I'll let other people test it. Okay. Later in the day, One Peg does like really extensive testing, much more extensive than mine, with all the headsets, not just some. And he says that every single headset in the game, he could hear people at 60 meters out, except the Contact 4s, he could hear at 61 meters out. He was like, at 62 meters with the Contact 4s, I couldn't hear it, but I could at 61. He was like, it's like a 2% distance. And so those were his findings, and he made a video. Every headset in the game, exactly 60 meters, which seems farther than mine, but he did more testing. Okay. Few hours later, I get people coming in. OMG, did you see the Pestily clip? Did you see the Pestily clip? They broke audio. Audio sucks. OMG, did you see the Pestily clips? And apparently, Pestily was doing some testing, and he was hearing people at 150 meters away running, and they weren't weren't overweight. It was like he had like 5 kilograms worth of stuff on him. And so I throw my hands up and I say, I don't know. From now on, all morning when people have asked me about the headsets, I say that they all sound different now, but other than that, everything seems fine. And now, I don't know, because I don't care enough. I don't care enough to go do the testing, and I'm not going to refute his claims, and I don't trust the game enough that it'll give provide a consistent experience for everybody. Maybe it's only 150 meters on whatever map he was in at that exact place. Or maybe I was bugged all day and I had half the distance range that everybody else had. I played for 7 hours today, and I don't feel like I heard people at 150 meters away. But at the same time, you can watch the clip. And I'm not going to say that Pestily was doing bad testing. Pestily's playing this game thousands of hours longer than me. And he would be way more of an authority. So the answer is, I don't know. But that's how it went today, where I tested them and I was like, they seem pretty normal as far as distance. One Peg tested them and said they're all at exactly 60 and there's no distance modifier. And I was like, okay. And then Pestily was doing testing and he was hearing people so far away. And then we get to the same thing we talked about last week. The well is poisoned. Now people are coming in that haven't played the game yet, but they're talking about this clip. And so obviously they broke the game and they broke the audio. And then people are coming in and saying, is the audio fixed? And I'm like, I don't know if they saw the Pestily clip, if they're talking about interchange, if they're talking about labs, if they're talking about binaural, if they're talking about this. So I'm like, I don't know, man. And then what's crazy about it is the icing on that cake. Try to think about how objective you think the community's opinion on audio is going to be when the icing on the cake is every single headset sounds different. So like, you know what I mean? They all sound so different. So there is really no like A/B testing once again about like, oh well, Sorden's like it. You can't be like.
I mean, like the other thing to keep in mind too, though, is people's subjective experiences with sound are also massively different. A,
for sure,
and B, I mean, things will sound noticeably different. I will never say better or worse.
Yeah.
Or more advantageous versus not when you have
For sure.
$1,000 Odyssey headphones when you have $350 Sennheiser HD6XXs, when you have $1,100
IEMs,
in-ear monitors, universal in-ear monitors, or when you have $1,600 custom molded in-ear monitors. They all sound
for
different.
Sure.
I had to change my editing process for audio now. I haven't edited a video in 3 weeks now that I have these in-ear monitors because things just sound. Everything sounds different.
Yep. And that's the thing is that like that's what I'm saying is that like there is genuine and legitimate issues with the audio right now as a result of this patch, but like the well is so poisoned because people are like, it's also, there's a bunch of subjective changes too. So like that was the thing, like the most common question I got today was like, what's the best headset now? And I'm like, there's never been a best headset in Tarkov. It very much, if you have Beats by Dre, then like if you put Sordens on, you're gonna break your headphones with the amount of bass. But if you've got, headphones that are tuned way more for high end, Sordens might sound super balanced and really good for you. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's never been a best headphone. There's always been memes. GSSHs are the best. GSSHs, I would literally take no headphones over GSSHs until today.
I'll take a nail to my eardrum.
Yeah. So it's like, there's never been a best and there's not a best today. But then people are tweeting out that there's a best because of the distance modifiers. But then other people like OnePeg are saying that the distance modifiers aren't real. So I truly don't know. Once again, my experience was just 7 hours, like 30 minutes of testing and 7 hours of just playing the game normal. And I didn't feel like I heard people at 150 meters away, but that doesn't mean that I didn't hear people at 150 meters away. And it just means that maybe I never got into that predicament. Like somebody in chat earlier was like, wait till you see what Landmark just did. Apparently he's doing some testing and he got a clip that's nuts. I'm not saying those people are wrong. Please hear me. I'm not saying those people are wrong. I'm saying I can't lose my mind going down the rabbit hole, so I'm just going to play the game like normal. And if I see and hear things that are crazy, I'll report on those things. But like somebody was saying that like that someone was doing testing and it seems that no headset is like meta. It's like the best audio and you can hear farther. I don't know. Maybe that's true. But like it's so muddled that
something
I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
Something I have to ask, and my mod Skillet is an audio guy, was there testing, so he'll have to tell me if there's a remote possibility. Because the first thing that came to mind is I know that OnePeg uses a compressor.
Yeah.
What are the chances that the compressor was basically cutting a hard capping at some decibel level the audio so that's why they were all basically exactly the same? Like that's potentially, I'm not saying he did that, but that comes to mind as like a right? There's other variables. Now when I did back in the day, when I did testing with all of this stuff, included for the Steam audio video, I tested perception.
Yeah.
And I tested the difference between no headphones and then like a bunch of different pairs of headphones. Those are two different variables.
Yeah.
And then a third variable modified on all of those, right? It's like a fucking 3x3 matrix here where level 1 perception and max perception.
Yep.
Recorded on the same PC, same settings, same whatever. And the difference ended up being like, first of all, it ended up being like, 11 feet or something. It was like 5 meters. I don't remember exactly, but it was like insignificant. It was 1 second of like distance traversed, to the point where like the rangefinder was just not precise enough to really have a massive like confidence in what was the plus or minus accuracy.
Yeah.
But it was such an insignificant range, but also that's so much of being able to hear something versus not. A lot of times it's not volume.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not, it is frequency, but it's frequency that's completely independent of anything any of the headphones do. Some of them will boost things.
Yeah.
Some of them will cut things, but it's like, unless they literally hard cut the entire like top end, like high pass, low pass, every single headphone was having like the same, like you either hear it or you don't.
Yeah.
It's not, it really isn't, like in real life, you have was I able to perceive that volume? Because it's such a, you have like from 0 to 1, the number of decimals is infinite between 0 and 1.
Yeah.
That perfect, like analog fucking range.
Yep.
Where it's just not like a discrete integer, numbers. And then you have something like Tarkov, where at some point they're just not going to play the sound on your client.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you don't hear it. If they play the sound, you're likely to hear it. Just like your eye, just like you see faces in everything. You look up at the popcorn ceiling, you're going to see 9 million faces because we've evolved to pareidolia. We've evolved to see patterns.
Yeah.
We've evolved, when you play a game like Tarkov, to recognize when there's gunfire, explosions, thunder and lightning, and your friends talking in Discord, and you hear that little, you're like, somebody's behind me.
Yep.
You just hear it.
Yep.
If you watch any of my audio testing videos, any of those fucking videos where I've done that, it's always been like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And that comes from, in many ways, real life perception.
Yeah.
Because I can play the sound and be like, did you guys hear anything? And people will say no. And they'll be like, oh, it must be the stream. It must be the stream. I'll go, no, I'll play it again. And you'll hear, and I'll like tell them when it is. I'll like play it and loop it. And it'll be like,
yep.
And I'm like, you'll hear it. Hear it? And they're like, oh my God, I hear it now. And then they can't unhear it. It's because I could hear it. I knew what I was listening for. My brain could. It's not an audio level thing. It's not a frequency thing. It's not a headphone thing. It's not a perception thing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, I know. Audio is just super complex and confusing, and like, I mean, you started that by bringing up perception, and I've heard that a million times today. Like, oh, I've got low perception, and people with high perception, people are still convinced it's like crazy. Like, if you have high max perception with an Alton on, you hear farther than somebody with level 1 perception with contacts on, and it's like,
that might be true, but you're talking 61 meters versus 67 meters.
Yeah.
And again, the question I have to ask you is the 10 meter difference, the 1 second worth of running, how many situations does that 1 second in your gameplay, would that be the difference between you winning or losing?
Yeah. No.
And people think that that's a lot. I promise you, it's like 1 in 300 raids.
And so it's just like, it's so scuffed. So I've heard enough. I've heard enough opinions from different people, including once again like Desmond, that I do think that the headphones right now are scuffed. I don't know what the bugs are. Like somebody was saying, Landmark's got some clips, Pesley's got some clips. I don't know if it's. So I guess that's a good way to put it. I believe that they're scuffed. I do. Not only scuffed.
You mean like broken, bugged, or do you mean they're just like bad?
Both, a little bit. I like a lot of ones feel like really gross now, like really almost like, why would anybody want this? But once again, subjective, right? As somebody who's used all the headphones and found the ones I liked, a lot of the ones I liked are really gross, and some of them are okay. Secondarily, I also think I believe at this point that there are bugs with them now, but the problem is I have not interacted with that bug enough to be able to identify, is it a bug with this headset? Is it a bug with all headsets? Is it a bug with how far we're hearing without headsets? Maybe that's the bug. The headsets aren't, but the bug is that. Is it a bug on a certain map? I don't know, and I don't know that testing has been done. Maybe it is. Maybe it's happening currently on Pestle and Landmark stream. Go check it out. Don't leave here thinking I think the headphones are great. I'm just saying, like, I don't have enough information, even after playing for 7 hours today, to determine what the bug is, where it's located, and how bad it is, okay? people were coming into my stream being like, oh my God, I just saw this clip. Audio's never been more broken. The game is unplayable. And I'm like, I'm conflicted here because I believe that bug that you're explaining could be in the game, but I've played for 6.5 hours now and I didn't notice anything. So once again, that definitely doesn't mean that bug isn't in the game. Maybe I just never interacted with it, but like, you're telling me, someone who's not, like, you don't have the game open. You just came from Pesley stream. You're telling me the audio's never been more broken. It's so bad. And I'm playing the game and I'm going, oh, that's interesting because I didn't notice. You know what I mean? So it's just weird. So like, I believe that there are bugs in the implementation with what they did with headsets. I don't know what they are. I still am unsure on if there's an advantage with certain headsets. They made that verbiage very clear. We added functionality that gives some headsets an advantage by increasing the hearing radius of footsteps and voice lines. I still don't know. I don't know if OnePeg's testing was accurate. I don't know if other people's testing is accurate. So like the headsets is a big question mark. I don't know. Log in, play the game, test out all the headsets. You're going to find your new favorite one and then report bugs. You know what I mean? Because report any bug you see. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
The way I interpret that with what I know about BSG is like what people are going to think when they read that is there is some value that is hearing distance that they like turned up, and I don't think that that's the case. Especially if you look at all of the properties, there's like high cut frequency, low cut frequency, there's gain, there's all of these things, but none of it is like hearing distance, because whether you hear something or not, a lot of it has to do with so many other things I don't know. So I interpret that as BSG saying, we made this dish. We made some of the dishes on our menu much tastier. And it's like, they probably added a ton of salt because one guy has busted up taste buds and he doesn't realize,
to what dish though, and define tasty. And we're all going, and everybody's like, OMG, it's the burger. And then people are like, no, it's the pizza. And I believe, like, and I'm inclined to believe everybody, when everybody comes in and this says, I saw this clip, do you see this bug? I'm not inclined to dismiss them. I'm inclined to believe them because most of the time when there's patches, there's bugs. So I'm not even of the attitude of like, no, BSG's got this. Like, I'm not even coming. I'm like, no, maybe I just haven't interacted with it. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I mean? I'm not going to drop everything I'm doing and go do some scientific testing. I'm just not that guy. Okay, I believe you. Like, that's basically where I'm at. Is like, that's interesting. I haven't noticed it. But
it should be easy. I mean, what they said was, we've made something that historically was basically subjective.
Yeah.
And we've made objective changes that are measurable. That's effectively what they've said. So that should easily be testable by anybody who knows what the fuck they're doing. And I would imagine that there's, I mean, clearly there's a massive demand. And like, I'm not fucking doing it.
I don't know, man. My question, put it in chat, put it in the comments. Does anybody want this? Like, would it be better if there was just audio? Like, if it was just everybody heard the same distance, the same frequencies, there were no headphones, it was just audio like every other game ever made? I don't know. I'm questioning. I used to think the system was cool. I'm questioning now. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I feel like there's like never a universe in which, when the right decision to make something better, and I'm not saying that this is the case, right?
Yeah.
But there's a universe, and it might be the one we live in. It might be the one where we have hot dog fingers.
Yeah.
We might have hot dog fingers. We might not realize it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where the game is better without contacts.
Yeah.
But they've invested all this time and effort into it, and it's too cool and like niche. They'll never remove them.
I agree with you on that. I shouldn't have even said it because you're right. It's not even worth. It's like people are like, you're right. It's like when people are like, they should just remove the flea market. And it's like, this is never going to happen. Why even talk about it? You know what I mean? It's like, you're absolutely right. Like, they're never going to get rid of them. And I like them. I think it's cool. I just hate this. This is what I hate. I like the fact that everybody can kind of have their favorite and we all meme about which one is superior. But this is what I hate. It's just like, Audio is so complicated to the people that have dedicated their entire lives studying it. So to people that haven't, it's even more complicated. You know what I mean? Like, and so much is just regurgitation. You know what I mean? Like, you can almost tell when somebody, like, you know, like all their previous chats are just like, you know, XYZ, whatever. It's like really, and then all of a sudden all the words come out like, oh, ambient reduction by this many decibels. It's always this one, that. And I'm like, dude, where'd you hear that? Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, I just came from Pestely's stream and he said the hamburger is the best on the menu.
Yeah.
It's the best on the menu. And anybody who disagrees, I haven't eaten it.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to the restaurant or ordered anything, but like,
and I don't even,
objectively, it's the best.
And I'm not saying you're wrong when you're like, oh, this one has the best ambient noise. I'm not even saying you're probably right, but it's just like, did you arrive at that conclusion, or did you just like somebody said it and then you never tested? Like, because I don't know, like, so dude.
Bro, and here's the other thing too. I'm just gonna straight up say you're not dying because of any differences. I promise you. I fucking, you listening right now, who you're gonna think you're the exception. You're the special one. You're gonna think I'm not talking to you. You've never died in Tarkov, or if you have, it's been less than 1% of the time. Because of any difference in perception, or because of wearing one headphone or another headphone. I promise you, you'll die when there's no sound because of a bug.
Yeah.
Or you'll die because you have dog shit aim, or you'll die because you have great aim, but the game's fucking RNG recoiling your shit all over the place. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Stop fucking thinking it's so important. Stop trying to blame all of this arbitrary subjective bullshit on why the game is bad.
Yeah.
This is all, like, the food is made out of shit. Okay? And one dish might have too much salt.
Why are we arguing about that?
How much salt there is when there's shit on my plate. It's like, why is everybody so fucking rock hard about this dumb, unimportant bullshit? Right? The game is so fundamentally fucked. I agree. That all of this is just a red herring.
Herein lies the struggle, though. Like this, herein lies the frustration, is that if there's a bug in the game where with certain headsets, you can hear people at 150 meters out, and that's unintended, now we've dipped into it is important. Like,
but none of that has anything to do with the patch notes and what they said.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, but what I'm saying is that's why it's so frustrating, because normally you're right, but like now if there is actual issues with this new system, it's because of how normally arbitrary it all is. It's so hard to parse through information and figure out what's just like subjective. Like I hate this headset now or whatever, and what's like, oh, like, why is it when I wear this headset and I'm on this map, I can hear, you know, hear into another map or something, you know, or hear 200 meters away.
Well, it's like, what's the best flashlight?
Yeah.
When there's the flashlight bug in the game.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. So TLDR is like, and once again, Jesse, did they fix sound today? Mary Mother of God. TLDR, interchange, sound, interchange, sound much better. Headphones all sound different now. Good luck finding your favorite. Subsequently, new audio bugs, ? New audio bugs, yes. Define ? There's new audio bugs. Not everybody agrees on what they are or where they are. I believe that there are new audio bugs, but I'll just defer to the community on this one, and because my mental health can't take it. It just can't. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where we're at. That's audio. That's where we're at with audio. Okay.
Bro, the next line. Did they get rid of the fucking people talking in the back of the scav heavy breathing?
Oh, I don't know. I have heard that, but I didn't test for that today. So I don't know.
Somebody in chat tell me, because it says adjusted audio tracks that had sound artifacts, background voices. Noise.
Oh, they had to have then. Yeah.
I mean, it has to be. There was two sound files.
Yeah, there were two .mp3s in the whole game that had background vocals in them. They had to have fixed it.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, people in chat are saying they did. I wonder, is it the same exact lines, or did they do like some post-process? Like, did they drag it into...
Did they have ChatGPT auto AI remove it? You know what I mean? From the background.
Oh my God. I wonder if it's like a completely different... It's just Nikita going, I am scared out of breath. I am scared. Everybody in the background, shut the fuck
up. Fix the sound effects of concussion, which appeared when using Golden Star Lip Balm or when stunned by a grenade. The effect is now smoother, and the sound of the tinnitus is played in stereo mode without the positioning effect when turning your head. Why
something I never...
the hell is this in the game? I kind of understand it when you get full-blown flashbanged, but like genuinely, is it...
They had 3 team meetings about this
genuinely
feature.
Is this a joke? Is it an actual joke that in this game, in this hardcore realistic freaking operator, when I rub lip balm on my little whippies, I get stunned into oblivion? And if you have tinnitus in real life, this is like the most abrasive thing ever. And it just goes away if you have a headset on. If you don't have a headset on, you get tinnitus. If you have a headset on, you don't get it. With lip balm. Like, and they're fixing bugs related to the positioning of the sound of the tinnitus when I put the lip balm on. In the hardcore, what this is a patch note. Is like, I don't understand, Veritas. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. This one I was like, just take it out of the game. Why?
God, I just get such a...
Why?
I guess there's some odd satisfaction I get out of just
seeing me lose my mind at this game.
What's the Schadenfreude? You know, the German word for finding pleasure in the misfortune of others, basically. There's something about like just watching this dumpster fuel fucking train wreck.
It's just like, this is, somebody spent man hours fixing this. Why?
So wait, what was the bug? It sounds like what they're describing was the bug was, if you use the fucking Golden Star, you get like this, but then if you like turn your head, it like goes to your right ear.
That's what it sounds like.
It spawns like an invisible like Oculus audio node spawn in this location of your head, and then it just detaches while you walk away.
That's a thing though. Like when you reload, if you're run and reload, sometimes you run past the audio of you reloading, and then it scares you, so you stop and you turn around. It literally physically manifests an audio and just leaves it there sometimes. I mean, I don't know if that's what happened with the Golden Star thing, but that happens all the time. Like, it's...
I'd rather have the fucking scavs standing on benches, dude.
Thank you. Before I have an aneurysm, let's move on. Balance the sound for the M18 grenade to match the other grenades. I think that was a smoke. Fix an issue with short-term muting of the sound when the sound source transitions between rooms.
Short-term muting.
Like if you were doing an action while you went from inside to outside, it would like, when it was transitioning you to the new occlusion zone, it would like mute really quick. Like you would just like, that's what it's describing. I don't know that I've had that, but Veritas, the thing is, I never know what's the stuttering. We need to come up with this. We need to come up with the Veritas effect, where like when you showed me that when we played together, you were stuttering 15 minutes before, I would have told you that doesn't happen, but you showed it to me. Boom. So sometimes when I see stuff like this, I'm like, oh, I never had that. It's never happened to me, but maybe it did all the time. I don't know. I don't remember it. I don't consciously understand it, but maybe that happened all the time. Fix an issue that occurred when opening a door where the sound source behind it could sound muffled. Yeah. So like you open a door, but the guy's still muffled in there when he shouldn't be. Fix an issue where leaning against the wall would allow you to hear everything in the room behind the wall.
Fix an issue where half of the sound files sound like Laurel and half of them sound like Yanny.
Yanny. Dude, yes. Laurel and Yanny. Bro. So that's audio. There's some W's, there's some undecideds, and there's some L's. And there's some L's that not everybody can agree on the exact definition of the L, but it's out there in the ether. Audio and Tarkov. I don't know, man. Number 2, fixed visual bugs when using flashlights. Flashlights no longer shine through walls or other obstacles. Fix the flickering.
Bold statement.
Yeah. We'll come back. Fix the flickering of disabled flashlights on weapons. Fix the brightness and beam range of some flashlights. Okay. So again,
I just saw the next one.
Oh, yeah, Lamau. Anyways, okay. So the most common question I got today, the second most common question was, did they fix the sound? The most common question I got today was, did they fix the flashlight bug? Now, right, that like prior to this wipe, for all of time, there were many places in Tarkov where flashlights would like shine through walls and stuff like that. Like that's not a new bug. The flashlight bug was a new layer of hell of an existing bug where flashlights would show on when they were off, and they would shine through all walls of the whole world. So there are clips of from One Peg and from Pestily where flashlights are still shining through like a wall. And there was a clip of Pestily where he had a gun. Pestily was looking at a guy. That guy had a gun on his back that had a flashlight on. And he had like two perspectives up. And on one perspective, the flashlight was on, and one perspective, the flashlight was off. So I'm not at all trying to like BSG simp here and be like, no, guys, it's fixed. There are still issues with it, as there have been since 2018. The flashlight bug that has been plaguing the past few months is effectively gone. Okay,
they should have just said fixed a number of bugs related to flashlights. Yeah. The bold move is saying, oh, they no longer shine through walls and other obstacles.
You're right.
Oh, okay. Hold my beer.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. So like, I, once again, played for 7 hours today. Normal, right? Not trying to break the game or find the bugs, just normal raids. And in that time, I did not see a single flashlight shining through a wall from an enemy. And I didn't see Airwing's flashlight on at all when it was supposed to be off. So, I'm not calling Pestily a liar. I'm not calling One Peg a liar. Yes, some walls flashlights still go through, and some instances a flashlight can still appear on when it's off. But even they will tell you that it's mostly fixed. So for me, you do what you want. If we want to just hop on the train and say BSG can't fix anything, I'm not using flashlights, that's fine. You do you. I never know. It's fixed enough that I'm perma on flashlights again. Flashlight laser combos.
It sounds like they fixed so this bug is so recent that I've never experienced it, and I wasn't playing Tarkov when it was a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's been like 2 months at least, and okay, 5 months ago this bug wasn't in the game.
For sure.
The bug that you're talking about, I never once saw a flashlight through a wall.
Yeah.
Going back to so it sounds like what you're describing is someone in chat just said 2023 flashlight bug fixed. It sounds like that.
Yeah, basically 2023 flashlight bug fixed. And it looks like
not all flashlight bugs fixed.
Not all flashlight bugs fixed. And it looks like a little bit of the 2023 flashlight bug persisted. Like prior to the 2023 flashlight bug, I had never encountered a bug where a flashlight was off for me and on for someone else. That was new. They fixed 99% of that. It looks like, based on a Pestily clip, that can still happen. I don't know the steps that they took to reproduce that, and I don't know if they took steps to then fix it. But it is, but I'm glad Pestily made that clip. And so let this be, if you're watching and you want to know what's going on, this is what's happening. There are still instances, as there have been for many, 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 many years, where flashlights go through some walls, and I wish they would have worded this better. Well, I wish they would have just fixed all of it. Secondarily, I wish they would have worded this better. So that's a thing. And it looks like there are some instances where the lasers appear on. It's fixed enough that I'm back on flashlights for sure. Like, not even, personally, I'm not even questioning that. Like, it's fixed enough for me that I'm back on flashlights. Yeah. Oh, and like, yeah. So someone said landmark stream today on dorms, a blue laser would go through the ceiling from the first onto the floor of the second.
You're welcome to Tarkov.
Bugs like that have been in the game for many, many, many years. Like there have been like bugs where sometimes if you shine a laser on a door, if you're on the other side of the door, you'll see the laser. Like, that's been in the game for years. And it all, but it gets jumbled and it all gets packaged into like the flashlight bug of 2023.
And scavs, you used to be able to see scav flashlights.
Yeah.
Through walls all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's how you'd know that they were like fucking locked onto you.
Yeah.
And you're like down the hall around the corner and the flashlight is like pointed at you.
Yeah.
And you just see them walking with and you're like, oh.
So once again, there are still bugs with flashlights and lasers, but it's much better, and I'm back on flashlights. So yeah, I wish they would have changed. I wish they would have done a better job with this. I wish they would have fixed more of the bugs, but that it is what it is. It's just like, you can't freaking say anything, or somebody's going to come at you with a Button Landmarks chat or a Button Pestily's chat. And I'm like, okay, sure. Those are all real and good clips, and we should send those clips, and those bugs should be, and BSG sucks for not fixing them. If that's what you want to hear, whatever.
People are,
I'm using flashlights again.
People need you to tell them what they should believe, what they are supposed to feel, because they don't want to do it themselves. But by gad nabbit, if you get it wrong,
yeah, it's crazy.
I'm gonna make sure you know. Rather than see, like, how does knowing the flashlight bug is fixed or not, if you aren't going to believe one answer or another, or if you've heard A and you want someone to tell you B, it's irrelevant until you go into the game and fucking experience it yourself or not.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand what people fucking want.
Yeah. I don't know either. And it's like, I'm not claiming to have done scientific testing. Some people come in and they're like, is the flashlight bug fixed? And I'm like, yeah. And I say that because A, it's on the patch notes, and B, I've been running flashlights all day and the bug has been fixed. And then somebody comes out of the woodwork and it's like, don't lie to them. It's not fixed. The landmark has a clip. And I'm like, dude, I believe you. I believe that it's still in the game, but like, what are you, the freaking police? Like, I've been playing the game all day. You've been bouncing around to streams and you found some people who show the bug. That's okay. That's good. We should address that. I'm not trying to sweep it under the rug. We should elevate that to BSG, and we should expect them to be responsible for fixing that bug. But like, dude, I'm not lying to people. I played all day and didn't see the flashlight bug. You know what I mean? It's like,
I've got advice for everybody, including you. And this is what I've always done. I don't make factual, objective claims of truth one way or another. I say what I know, what I believe subjectively, and then your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
So when someone comes in, is the flashlight bug fixed? I haven't experienced any issues today. You've never said there's no bugs. You never said there are bugs. You've just said nobody can be mad at you, and dude, now you're done with the conversation.
And as it evolves, that's exactly what happens. It was the same thing with audio. What do you think of the new headsets? They all sound weird, but it's pretty normal. We'll just pick a new favorite. That was my answer earlier this morning. My answer now is, I don't know. It seems like it's super scuffed. Just try it out for yourself. Because at first I'm giving my opinion, but then people say, well, your opinion's wrong because of this clip. So then I modify my statement to now include I don't know.
You don't need to modify your statement if you are not making claims about the universe.
But the questions are set up as if, is it fixed? You know what I mean?
So you don't answer those questions because they're unanswerable questions.
Yeah.
Am I going to die tomorrow? I need an answer.
Yeah.
Like, I just Fonzie my light.
Yeah.
On. Did they fix the bug? Or what's the best headset now? I can't tell you what the best headset is. So far, I haven't noticed a big difference. Once again, you never said anything about reality.
Yeah.
You haven't made a claim that could be wrong.
Yeah.
There's no way to prove you wrong. That's how you win in these fucking discussions, is you never say anything that can be wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why I'm so pedantic about all of this shit, why I'm so careful about all of this shit, why all of my videos are worded, and everybody goes, wow, why did you word it that way? You're so pretentious. You have to add all these blah, 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 all these extra things. No, I'm just fucking careful about what I say, because nobody can say I'm wrong when I don't say things that could possibly be wrong.
Yeah.
If I don't experience something, good luck proving that I didn't experience a thing.
Yeah.
Good luck proving to me that I actually like shrimp. Good luck. Good luck. I'll wait for the Reddit post where you prove me wrong. Veritas said he doesn't like shrimp.
Yeah.
Here's how I'm going to prove to the world that he's wrong.
Yeah.
Just don't make factual claims about the universe, because spoiler alert, nobody knows anything about the universe, and you're probably wrong. And that includes you, that includes me, that includes fucking everybody.
True.
So just don't bother.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's absolutely that's the stance on everything. Is the flashlight bug fixed? I didn't experience it at all today.
Which is why all of my videos, all my headphone videos are, there's no better or worse. It's all subjective. I'm going to show you all of the information. You decide.
Yeah.
I don't ever make the fucking claim. When was the last time anybody said Veritas was wrong about X?
Yeah.
It's not zero. There are a couple times, and I'm generally the first one to fucking point out as soon as I'm discover I'm wrong. I'm like, I was wrong, because I want to be the first one to fucking say it, you know? But it's not because I'm the smartest. It's because I just don't say shit that I couldn't possibly know or that I don't know.
You're ignorant about. And that's what I try to do. It's just like, what's frustrating is that like so many people are just looking for people to bandwagon on like BSG sucks, right? And it's like, you know, like they're just like begging you to just like say that.
Well, if they ask you and you tell them something, now the conversation is all about either Jesse's wrong or I agree with Jesse. It's not about what they believe or why they believe it. They've now shifted the fucking blame
for sure
from them onto somebody else, because people don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to do any kind of effort. They don't want to put themselves out there to be wrong. They just want to tell everybody that they're wrong.
Yeah.
Because people are fucking intellectually lazy, and you're all cowards. Every single one.
Yeah.
I you know what? I've always thought about all of you guys that you're.
Due to technical difficulties, we ended the podcast early.
Veritas has mental breakdown over shrimp on podcast. Dude, I'm fucking sweating.
Dude, so am I, honestly.
I'm wearing this Sequisha hoodie, and it was a mistake.
I am also sweating. So that was the thing. It was like crazy because like all of those clips of like the flashlight bug being in the game brought to my attention after the stream today. So when the stream ended, I was so excited to get to the podcast and be like, the flashlight bug is fixed. And all these clips came, and I was already like inner like sigh of like, okay, I'm gonna have to qualify everything to the nth degree. Exactly that, like these bugs are out there, and I'm not saying these bugs aren't out there. And BSG, yeah, they suck because they should have fixed the bug, but I didn't experience anything, and it's a lot better. And I was just like already like sighing that I was gonna like that it has to be a thing. I wanted this to be the thing where I was like, yeah, they said they fixed flashlights, and they fixed flashlights. You know what I mean? So Now, the last thing there is fix the beam brightness of some of the flashlights. So it's hard to test, but okay, we didn't test all the flashlights, but direct, if you're just looking straight at me, flashlights are still super, super bright. I feel like they're a little bit less bright in the sense that I feel like I could always see the legs of the PMC in front of me, which kind of helps you, aim in the right general direction. But basically what they did was if the old cone of light was like 180 degrees, they made it like 45 degrees. So if you're 10 meters away from somebody and they're shining a flashlight directly in your face, if you take one step to the left, the intensity of that flashlight goes down to like 30%. So now there's a counter to it. It's only blinding when they're pointed directly at you. But if you're
now the new meta is going to be flashlight blinding AD strafing, and it's going to be worse than it ever was. Thanks, Tarkov.
But like I said, it seems a little bit less intense when direct on as well. That could just be placebo, or somebody could have just been using a dim flashlight. But
that's fucking sounds cool to me.
But that definitely felt like a W, where it was it felt like the cone was shorter, so you could actually get out and then see again pretty quickly. So we'll see how that actually, because like you said, we'll see how that actually practically affects the game, and if it just ends up being like a new weird meta, or if people just start putting 2 or 3 flashlights on their guns, yada yada yada. But that
it used to be like 2 sheets of paper in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And now it's like a wet
1 sheet. Yeah.
Single sheet that's slightly. Yeah, I mean, this is basically. Oh, you got flashbang.
Yeah.
Oh,
flashlight.
Oh, flashlight. Oh, shit.
Shoot at the legs. So yeah. I'm just laughing because some people in chat just need to like pick a lane. Like, I've heard some people quote what's happened in Landmark stream so much. It's like, just go in Landmark stream then. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, bots can no longer instantly rotate while prone.
That's what I've been saying for so long. The problem with bots is that how they fucking like 180 while they're on their stomachs. It has nothing to do with
everything else about
constantly
them
on their stomachs, or like imagine if the bots had a 10% accuracy.
Yeah,
nobody would care if they did fucking gymnastic backflips off of roofs. If they didn't fucking one tap you in the head, it wouldn't matter.
You're right.
It wouldn't. In fact, it'd be fucking hilarious.
You're right. Now it's funny because like I don't believe that this is true because they've done so many things about bots that aren't true. I do have clips. I do have a clip though. Very recently, I've got Max Scav Karma, and I found Killa prone on streets, and he had like killed the PMC, but the PMC was already dead, and Killa was just prone, and he was legitimately while ADS, he would just rotate 180 degrees. Like there's no like if you're a PMC and you try to do that, you have to like, and literally it was just like. Boop.
I can't like picture in my head a rotation like animation.
There's
like
not an animation, but you just have to like move and turn your mouse, and it would just like it would take so much longer.
Yeah, because I mean, what's Killa's DPI?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What are his? Go to Killa's stream. Yo, I just came from Killa's stream, dog. Yeah, and I did exclamation point DPI.
Dude,
got his fucking mouse.
He still has that reload speed buff as well, dude. Did I tell you about that? He still does.
You came from Killa's stream, dude, and Killa's stream has a fucking reload buff on it.
That's what's crazy is that if any of the bosses were streaming, they would 100% be reported for cheating all the time.
Bro, I just came from fucking Killa's bathtub stream, and he's
oiling
what's
himself crazy
up.
Though?
Nobody go. I mean, like I'm here and I'm watching this, but everybody listen to me talk about something interesting going on elsewhere. Aren't you glad I'm telling you? Hey guys, I know this is a McDonald's, but did you hear about the sick Burger King special across the street? I'm not saying go there. I'm eating here at McDonald's now, but like. Did you guys hear about the fucking Whopper special?
Yep. You know what's funny though is that's actually, if the AI was good, an actual 5-head idea would be to have a Twitch stream that was just Killa's perspective 24/7. And every time he died or a raid ended, it would just swap to another Killa. Wouldn't that be the sickest thing ever?
Can we rewind and delete this from the... We can't keep talking. Dude, we've, like, the last few episodes, we've been coming up with hot fire.
Yeah, we have.
Game-changing ideas, dude. And they'll never exist.
Yeah.
They'll never listen to us. They don't fucking care. They'll come up with their own dumbass budget dollar store version of whatever, where, oh, we have a new escape from Tarkov.com/Killa, and it's a fucking top-down 2D dot on a map
that refreshes once every 60 minutes.
Yeah, like, fuck off. God almighty.
Dude, because I heard there was a game coming out that's supposed to be like an open world, kind of like DayZ, where the servers persist for a really, really long amount of time. And in lore, there are like bots that fly around, and like if you do something wrong, they'll shoot you. Think of like the No Man's Sky little guys. But in the game, they were like, and there's going to be a live stream 24/7 that cycles between these bots. And the bots could be following players around. And I was like, that's a super interesting idea. And then like
cops.
Yeah, exactly. And then you said that, and I was like, bots. Bro, I was like, how's bots? I was like, how sick would that be if it was just like twitch.tv/Killa and you could just like watch him murk PMCs? That'd be dope. Oh, anyways.
Yeah, No Man's Sky did it fucking 7 years ago.
Yeah. Disabled experience gain for killing and looting players in the same group. Dog tags of such players will be sold to the traders for 1 ruble and will not be considered as found in raid. And
it's weird. I'm trying to look for what, I don't know if like there's some HTML issue with like Google Chrome or some, but I would expect that after that they would say, and also buffed dog tag prices by like 100x.
Nope.
Oh. Because we've been fucking talking about this for 157 years, dude.
Yep.
It's the whole, why can't they buff dog tag? Well, because they're too fucking brain dead to just simply be able to make it so that dog tags for your teammates aren't worth anything and you don't get rewarded for killing your teammates so that people can't farm it. And now it's like, what we're going to do is do the thing preventing you from doing the thing you would do if the game was better without making the game better. Because eat shit.
Yep. Yep.
I'm glad I have T-minus 12 hours and 35 minutes until my fucking therapy session.
Yeah.
9 a.m. Saturday morning, boy.
So there's that. And then reduce the frequency of bot voice lines and shouting during combat. Yep. So, that's the patch. I don't know what to feel, and I don't know what to think. But that's the patch. That's 13.05. If anything, I'm just glad we're on the roadmap now, and that like the next patch is supposedly supposed to be Unity. Then we get to 13.1, which that is going to be where stuff happens. Copium. Now, there are a few other little Tarkov things to talk about. However, before we do, I want to take a second and thank the second sponsor for tonight's episode of the podcast, and that is Babbel. Babbel is awesome. For most of us, learning another language has been relegated to the memories of high school, taking Spanish 1 and 2, which is exactly what I did for me. I failed those classes, very close to failed those. I am very, very not good at remembering stuff like that. But Babbel is a language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions. They're ridiculously fun and easy way to learn a new language. So Babbel's really cool. I've derped around in the app a little bit, and it's actually truly been something that I've wanted to do for like many, many years. Like every January, I'm like, this year I'm going to like learn a new language, 15 minutes a day. I don't know why, but I've always thought it would just be like really, really cool to be fluent in another language. I feel like that's a skill that just, it's such a, it's such a like you can just see your progress, and like when you do it, you just get there and you arrive and you just have this skill, and it's just I don't know. There's something about learning another language that's always been cool to me. But Babbel's really cool. It's got 15-minute lessons, which make it a perfect way to learn language on the go. They're handcrafted lessons. So a lot of people like use kind of just like copy paste or AI for the lessons plan. Babbel has used over 100 language experts to create the formula for their plans and to create their plans. Their teaching method is really, really cool. It's short, but it's practical. You can choose over 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. And what's really cool is they have speech recognition. So if you speak into it, it can actually help you with certain pronunciation of like certain words or phrases that you are struggling with. So it's not just like you say it to yourself and check it off. You speak into it and it listens, and it's like, you need to work on this. That's pretty sick.
Wild.
Yeah. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you gain access to podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes, which is cool because, as has been proven many times, like the best way to learn isn't just like in a classroom, but like experiencing different things, watching a video in that language. Like a lot of people learn other languages, like watching shows or stuff in other languages. You pick up on so much, listening to podcasts, live seminars, stuff like that. It's cool. And it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. So you can start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. You can get 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/pogcast. That's babbel.com/pogcast for 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Thank you so much, Babbel, for sponsoring this video.
Schwiggity what?
55.
Okay, it's actually kind of perfect that today I basically am like 1 or 2 words away from learning all the words in Korvax, Gek, and and
speaking of learning new languages,
from No Man's Sky. Yeah, dude, that's actually kind of funny. Also, I'm sneaking in a mini story time here.
I want it
because it's related to this. So in high school, I had a teacher, Senor Lopez. And in this class, it was me. So this was AP Spanish. And let me just tell you, there's like so many trolls. Me and all of my friends, we were fucking all trolls, and I was like a class clown. But in Spanish class, for some reason, we had a shelf full of books.
Okay.
We're all, the Spanish textbooks.
Yeah.
They were shared, so we didn't have to go like buy the textbooks or whatever.
Yeah.
They were shared. So it was like everybody go grab the textbook. You just grab one off the shelf. They were shared, right? Now there was one book that was the Cock and Balls book, and on all of the dumb Spanish cartoons, if it was like a guy taking his dog on a walk, you just draw the dick. On the dog.
It's like American Vandal, but in real life. Did you ever figure out who did it?
No, we all did.
Oh, it was just like the thing.
It was a collective thing.
It was a collective.
There was one book, and whoever got the book, they had to contribute whatever pages we were on. It was very what was the other one with McLovin?
Yeah, super bad.
Super bad. Yeah. Okay, so
wow.
So all I'll remember is one day we go to start the lesson, and we're all kind of looking around to see like who's the lucky,
who's got the book,
who's got the responsibility today. And everybody's looking around, and like this had gone on for months. Nobody said anything, and we're like, There was a couple people who were like, they weren't involved, right?
They would abstain.
Yeah. So those are generally the people that got the really good grades in the class and took it seriously. Now on this day, we go to start the lesson, and what do we hear shortly after we start the lesson? We're all looking down, trying to find, turn to page 125. Genitals! And we all look up to see Spanish teacher holding the book up, flipping through the pages.
No.
For some reason, he just thought to yell genitals. Genitals!
What the hell?
And he's like, who did this? And of course, like, technically, it wasn't one of us, right? So like,
damn.
I'll never forget.
That's like if one of us goes down, we all go down. You know what I mean? It's like we all drew the dicks.
It must have been another one of the classes, right? The multiple classes share the book. I mean, it clearly wasn't any of us.
Yeah.
And I mean, good luck doing the fucking handwriting analysis on the cock and balls because it was done by 47 people. So good luck, FBI, figuring out who it was.
Yep.
Because they had accomplices, all of us. We were all in on it.
Yep. Dang.
But it was like startled us how fucking Senor Lopez just screams genitals out of nowhere. Like the next door teacher must have heard that. Anyway, that's my short story time.
I like that. That's a great topical story time. Other Tarkov related stuff. There was some interesting stuff. Data mined just about like new like things that aren't present in the game yet. One was a screen for would you like, basically the wording was, would you like to sell all of the remaining items? So like you're on a scav, you get out of your scav and you transfer the stuff you want to keep, and sometimes you leave stuff behind because you don't have space in your stash. I don't feel like selling a duffel bag. And there's like going to be a button where like, do you want to sell all of this to Fence or something like that?
Didn't we already see that in like the teased screen
new inventory? Not from a scav perspective. Not from like, I just went on a scav raid. There's like the ability to like.
I thought there was.
Not that I saw. Maybe there's something that I missed. There was something in there about arena fighter event, like something that said, like some string of text that said the words arena fighter event and metrics around that. Switch headlight, toggle headlight, which we know, and then item quick use, double click to press an item, which I'm so excited for that to come into the game.
Yeah, it sounds like all the things that they talked about.
Some of those, were, but it was just like the arena fighter event, which is interesting. And then there was like voice things like arena guard and stuff like that were found. So
arena guard fucking MP3.
Yeah, or something. So
and it's got people talking in the background.
And it's just and it's interesting because that's happening in Tarkov, right? So like, interesting. So we got some interesting stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. People were like data mining the like values of the headsets, but like once again, I feel like that's like nobody knows what those values like. What is the 2% distance in resonance for Comtac 2s? Like, what is the average gamer gonna do with that information? Like,
wait, was there actually distance? Resonance. No. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So you're not saying what was the 2% distance?
Difference.
Comma resonance question. It was.
Yeah.
You're basically saying like, so there's differences in like resonance values.
Yeah.
How does that translate to meters?
Exactly.
Audible meters in game, and it's
exactly. So
the answer is it doesn't.
The answer is that it doesn't. The answer is that it doesn't. So yeah, that was the patch. I don't know. It was like we said, interchange is good. It can be good. They got to figure out the stuttering, but I don't know. Largely, it was just regular Tarkov. I don't know if you know who
you know what the new, and in this universe we have hot dog fingers is. The sky is definitely basketball.
Yeah, so many people.
The way that you said it, it was like if you had said those words, but with different inflection, it would not have turned into what it was, because you were just so matter of fact. Like, no, absolutely, the sky was definitely basketball.
Yeah,
it was great,
dude. That so many people came in and we're talking about the sky is basketball. From this week, it was the sky is basketball and fill your face hole with our sponsor.
There's a hole for that.
Yeah. So So arena stuff is interesting. I'm still very, very interested on if they're like Nikita was just talking about how Arena, Chronicles of Ridgey, Tarkov, they're all
Love
linked.
Vin Diesel.
So, yep, Chronicles of Ridgey. So I'm just interested to see if they're prepping for events or stuff like that. We still haven't gotten another episode of Chronicles of Ridgey, which seems insane to me. Other than that, the only other Tarkov news, I don't know if you know who Irish is, but he got me today. I deleted my whole stash. I deleted 100 million rubles and everything in my stash today.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, I heard. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, I mean,
I was like, probably is going to make the game more interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna have something to do now for the next.
Yeah, now you have an actual fucking goal
month, and I still have the key to the lighthouse, so I just run up there. You know what's funny is that that's the most fun I have playing Tarkov is just running the lighthouse because I can just vibe with chat and not deal.
Bro, I haven't even seen a single screenshot of the lighthouse.
Oh
I have no
God.
idea, and I love that for some reason.
That's good.
I have no idea what it looks like. I don't know what Lightkeeper looks like. I don't know. I still am picturing like an Oblivion, just quick zoom in on the face.
Yeah,
that's the interaction. I still have no idea.
And I want it to be that in your head for as long as possible. But yeah, that's the most fun I have anyway. But people are like, why are you out here running money? You have 100 million rubles. Well, now I don't. So I can do that.
Now it's where your money go.
And just take viewer kits and just chill, you know? Whoa. You're not going to get banned, bro. You're not going to get banned.
Canceled, dude.
You're not going to get banned. Yep. Yeah, so that's all the Tarkov stuff. The only other unrelated thing I had was I was going to ask if you saw anything about Marathon.
No, I hate the fucking name of it. Okay. So,
you heard it here first. Garbage game. No, I'm just kidding. So it's made by Bungie, who obviously made Halo and Destiny.
Allegedly.
I
have to enter my birthday. Oh shit. That's when you know things are gonna get good.
Yeah. Allegedly, they made Halo and Destiny. And they are making an extraction shooter. So this is a dedicated it's not Tarkov, but the genre Tarkov made, the extraction shooter. It's this. The art style is awesome. I love it.
I can already tell, dude. I'm on the fucking homepage. I can already tell there's gonna be some wild fucking cosmetics in this game.
Yeah, there's already an ARG. They did a trailer reveal at the PlayStation Showcase, and then a bunch of stuff started showing up at Dr. Lupo's house and a bunch of other big content creators, and then it started an ARG. They're already down the rabbit hole. It's sick. But so Marathon is, if I might be wrong, Marathon was the first or one of the first game that Bungie made way back in the day, even before Halo.
The guy had a USEC on his.
Yeah, it's UESC.
And he was
yeah.
Dude, that just, my subconscious saw it USEC out of the corner of my eye.
It's UESC, but it's absolutely USEC. It's, yeah, for sure.
And he's dead, drowning.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Yeah. But so Marathon was a series of games, 2 or 3 games. It was the first games that Bungie made. So they're revitalizing that. So Marathon isn't just a random name for a game. It's a nod to their past. They're revitalizing that world and that universe, and they're making this new extraction shooter. So dude, I don't know. I'm super interested. They did this big reveal and they did a bunch of Q&As, and there's a really interesting stuff in there about loot and raids and extracting, and they talked about teams being able to be world first at opening other parts of the map for other people, because there's this whole separate system of collecting artifacts. So there's loot that you need, so you might want to go in and loot and extract, but then you also might be able to go get an artifact, and the more artifacts you have, you can piece together. It sounds like they're taking aspects of MMO raids and extending them across multi-month seasons of an extraction shooter where like you can be like the world's first team to do something, and that affects the world that everybody then plays in. Super interesting stuff.
Well, I mean, if you think also like if you think about, we talked about this before, like the Diablo,
yes,
like WoW, like grind of like going kill the same thing, whatever. That if rather than kill the same thing and then hit escape and quit to main menu was go to an extraction
and potentially PvP.
Now you've got like a crack cocaine game cycle.
Exactly.
With like near infinite replayability.
Exactly. So like, of course you have people like on the hate train already. As somebody who grew up on Halo, fell in love and put so much time into both Destiny games, and has spent the past 5 years playing the game that invented the genre that Marathon is going to be, I'm very excited. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Like, Bungie has really good, like, their shooting mechanics and their games are really good. Halo, the original Halos, freaking Destiny. I loved Destiny. So,
all the same people that are like, want to instantly jump on the hate train are the same exact people too that are like, I just want somebody to come and do this better.
100%.
I need a AAA company to come and do this better. And then as soon as
100%.
Because 100%. Nobody thinks for themselves. They just want to parrot the same bullshit.
Tweeted Marathon looks dope. And somebody was like, what? Yeah, sure, the visuals look cool, but there's no gameplay. There's no trailer. Don't buy into the hype train. There's no this. I was like, bro, in your tweet, you said the visuals look dope. All I said was Marathon looks dope. I didn't say I'm investing all my money in Bungie stock because Marathon is going to make me rich. I just said it freaking looks dope. Like,
bro, what you said was, like, I am hinging my entire career on the success of this game being the greatest game that's ever come to fucking Twitch, YouTube, Steam, Bungie.org launcher, everything.
It was crazy. It was just funny that in his response to me, he also said it looked dope. He was like, yeah, the visuals look cool. And I was like, bro, that's all I was saying. Like,
but people don't care about the truth.
They don't care about anything.
Somebody who is a complete and utter sucker and a shill for Bungie and wants to suck off every Bungie dev, they would see the trailer and be like, oh my God, this is going to be the greatest game of all time. And they'd go tweet, this game looks dope.
Yep.
And then everybody else in the world would look at the way that the game looks, look at the art style and say, oh, this looks sick.
Yep.
And what they mean is it looks sick.
Yeah.
And the unstated reasonable like premise there is, I guess we'll fucking see what happens when it progresses. No, but they're not going to, I'm going to instantly assume that you mean the dumbest, craziest, nonsensical bullshit. Exactly. And I'm going to attack you. And then
exactly. It's like, I like McDonald's fries. McDonald's fries are good and everything, but their burgers suck. It's like,
bro, are you saying that animal cruelty is fucking good? And you're saying that you would, that I should be investing all my money in fucking McDonald's cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
And
like, no, I just said their fries were good, bro.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it absolutely has my attention because I still feel like none of the other developers have nailed it. Like the cycle, the cycle didn't hook me. Marauders didn't hook me. DMZ didn't hook me. All three of those games had elements of them that I think they do better than Tarkov. But the complete package, Tarkov is still like supreme. You know, Firestorm, all these other games that have tried it. So I'm like, bro, Bungie is doing it later. They can watch not only Tarkov, but also all those other games. They're known for making some pretty sick games, right? Like Destiny and Halo are some of the biggest franchises in shooter history. So, like, I'm super intrigued. There's no dates. They said that they're going into alpha, that they're going to go dark for a little bit, but this was just kind of a reveal. So, like, I don't know if it's this year, next year, or whatever. But I'm very interested, man. Very interested.
Dude, imagine if you say that it looks good and it comes out and it's bad.
Oh, I would be so.
Oh my!
I don't think I could ever stream again.
Could you? I mean, you couldn't publicly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you did, you'd have to not have a face cam or something.
I would have to.
Because of the shame, the physical, visible shame.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't be excited about something that could possibly be bad.
That would that is a good point.
Yeah, just careful, dude.
Career ender.
Careful, man. Like, make sure you caveat it. Make sure you
every
caveat
time
everything.
I say it from now until.
I really love the art style, but I mean, listen, guys. The art style.
We've been burned before.
There's so many games have really great art styles, and the art style doesn't determine the gameplay. And God, I mean, Bungie, I mean, fucking, they really have a really bad reputation for all kinds of things. Did you hear about how Halo Legends went online?
You're so right. Why didn't I think about that before I tweeted? I'm so stupid.
Like, imagine the game comes out and it's bad. Oh my God, we just don't play it. It's like people don't want. Oh, I don't know, man. It doesn't look good, and they're probably not going to do it. Probably not going to do it well. You know, they're not really going to get the job. It's going to be some pay to win. Okay, so you'd rather. Okay, we have a universe where a game exists that you don't like and you don't play it.
Yeah.
Or where that game doesn't exist.
But also, why does every developer do the same thing? Why isn't anybody innovating or trying anything new? You know what I mean?
Why do I have a giant fucking head inside my ass? Oh, wait, it's my own fucking head.
Wow. Why are their genitals drawn all over this Spanish textbook?
General!
All right. That's it. That's the podcast. Tarkov stuff patch happened. No Man's Sky doc coming in hot. Please finish that. It looks sick. Star Citizen's a confusing emotionally experience because of how fun and not it is at the same time. Marathon looks cool, but I'll never say that again. I apologize. And thank you to BetterHelp and Babbel for sponsoring the episode. That's the TLDR right there. So thank you guys for hanging. Thank you for all the support that's been coming in for the podcast over the past few weeks and months. We appreciate you guys. If you missed part of it, this will be live in full on YouTube and all the podcast platforms on Monday morning. And in the meantime, huff that sweet copium for me. That Unity 2021 is going to fix everything soon. Thank you guys for hanging, and we'll definitely see you on the next one.
Peace.